Spring Creek.
Strange Creek.
Strange Creek, okay.
There's a story about the swamp, and that's about the Muddley swamps. Muddley and the Gauley River, you know, got those names from the French fur traders. The ancient name of France being Gaul, French fur traders gave. Actually, the French actually claimed this region right. Runsford is the French word.
Greenbrier.
Yeah, Greenbrier.
Well, see, the tale I heard was that there were the pioneers traveling down the river, or maybe they were Indians. They came down and said, "Golly, New River."
Yeah.
That's right up there with the history of falling rocks and the Big Search.
There's a poem in there that I wrote about trees, and there's one called Places.
Well, you've got some neat stuff there. Yeah, you ought to publish that thing.
Well, I've got one that I don't think is in here called The Last Oak, and it was published in a book in England. Right here on Droop Mountain, my great uncle was captured in that battle.
Which side?
He was Confederate.
Confederate, okay.
As was almost all of West Virginia.
Oh yeah, and most of Pocahontas County.
Oh, absolutely.
We got shanghaied into West Virginia.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we're Confederates here.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Most people don't understand that anymore.
No, we didn't get a vote on it.
No, absolutely not. Here's he wrote this letter home from Sinking Creek.
Yeah.
And he says, "My dearest Frances," you recording?
Yeah, I got her.
"My dearest Frances, I have no doubt you are anxious to hear from me, and having an opportunity of sending a few lines to you, I am pleased to be able to inform you that I am at present well, although I was confined at one time with the rheumatism for 3 weeks and was not able to help myself. I was very kindly treated, and through the kind care of the all-wise Providence, I am enjoying good health at present. I would advise you to sell any property or anything that you have on the place if necessity requires. If I should not return before corn planting, I want you near the house. Plant in the best ground where we had corn year before last. You will have to do the best you can and hire someone to do your spring work if I am not there in time to do it myself. Nothing more at present, but remain your dear Joe until death."
Isn't that sweet?
Joseph Tennell.
So this is your own grandfather, great-grandfather.
Great-great-grandfather's brother.
Yeah.
And he was captured in the Battle of Droop Mountain and died in a prison camp in Pennsylvania. Never came home.
Was there a story about how this letter got out of the prison?
No, this was before the prison.
Oh.
He was near 60 years old when he joined.
Okay.
And that's probably the reason he came down with rheumatism. But my great-grandfather, his nephew, was his namesake. And he would come when I was 8 years old when he died. And he was 11 years old when the Civil War ended. And he would come and tell us that down on the Joe Tennell, that Joseph, ran a ferry at the mouth of Elk River, or not the mouth of Elk, but the mouth of Strange Creek, which goes into Elk River. And he said that when the ferry would go to cross the river, he would jump in and swim, and he could swim over and back before the ferry could make it one time. Of course, ferries were rather slow, I'm sure.
So this might well be his last letter.
Oh yeah, probably was.
Before he
probably was
captured. Yeah. Are there any stories about his capture around?
There are books written about the march from there to Pennsylvania, and it's a horrible story. Other soldiers dead along the road, and they would take, and their feet, they'd be barefoot and their feet bleeding, and they would stop and take their shoes off a dead soldier and put them on Horrible stories. Horrible stories.
Well, see, that sometimes doesn't come out as, you know, sometimes the story ends at Drew.
And now here's the story that I don't know of being written, but they said Grandpa, Joe Tennell died of a disease that he caught from eating rats and rotten cabbage in that prison. That's all they had to eat.
You know, you're quite a storyteller.
Well,